Hi everyone. So happy Money Monday. So exciting. As a lot of you know, last week I came from, I had DragCon, and so that was a convention that I had a booth in. And we were actually going to have a guest to talk about like getting the looks for DragCon, but unfortunately they were really sick, so they weren't able to join us tonight. But I have a super special treat for you tonight. I have my friend on tonight, Joshua Guarino. He's a really good friend of mine that I met at a scuba convention, and he's gonna talk. We're gonna talk a little bit about going to conventions and as an attendee, and having like a hobby and how you can do that in a financially kind of stable way. Hi, Josh.
Hi, good evening,
Hey,
everybody.
hey. So, Josh, I'd love you to introduce yourself to the group and like tell a little bit about who you are, what you do.
I would love to. Give me just a second. I'm trying to figure out how to put this microphone on.
I don't know. You actually sound pretty good. So,
Okay.
whatever you're doing is working.
Well, yeah, so I am very happy to be here. My name is Josh, and as Scully pointed out, we met at this convention, Beneath the Sea 2020, and it was awesome. So, yeah, what can I tell you about myself? I live and work in New York. I work in senior management for a small firm with health products. So, you still hear me?
Yeah, we hear you great. And hi, Gabby. Thanks for tuning in. Tell us a little bit about like why you decided to go to the convention. I mean, and some of the things that you thought about when you decided to attend the convention.
Sure. Why did I decide to go to the convention? Well, couple reasons. The first one is simply that I love scuba diving, and I had never been to a convention before. For scuba diving, I mean. Um, and whenever you launch into a new hobby, the first thing you want to do is meet everyone under the sun who does the same thing that you do. And what better place to do that than at a convention? So that was the primary reason. I mean, it was close by to me, which was also pretty awesome. And living and working in New York, I have a pretty good pulse on a lot of the convention centers. So it was kind of an easy leap to go and drive into New Jersey to go to this one. So, and I had friends going as well. So lots of reasons.
Yeah, awesome. Gabby, yes, scuba diving. That's also something that I'm super interested in. And I go to a lot of scuba conventions. I did DEMA last year and Beneath the Sea. And I go to conventions for like two reasons. Um, I do most conventions, I go as like an attendee. And so there are like costs associated with that. And then I just did DragCon, and so there's a cost obviously associated. Ooh, I think we lost Josh. I'm gonna add him back. But so I did DragCon as a booth, and there were a lot of different costs associated with that. Um, and there's a lot of things that you don't necessarily think of when you're gonna go to a convention. And I feel like I have like both sides of the coin, because I know like the hidden costs for a booth owner, and then I also know the hidden costs as an attendee, and those are like some of the things that people don't necessarily think about when going to a convention. Like we go to meet people that love the same thing that we love, or to learn more about a topic that we love. But there's I want to make sure that when you do that, like you have the whole picture in mind, and you don't go in and end up like going into debt because you went to a convention, you know? So are there any kind of things that you felt from the conventions that you've attended that like you didn't really think about but you wish you had?
Well, some conventions are extremely expensive to go to, especially professional conventions. They can be upwards of $1,000 sometimes just for a ticket for a 2 or 3 day event. But most hobby-driven conventions are, the whole purpose is to bring people in. So in terms of the entrance fee, it's usually pretty affordable. So no big surprises there. Travel, travel can be tough, especially if it's very far away and you need to take a plane or a train to get there. Carpooling can be fun. Road trips can be fun. I did that once, and my friend and I joked about renting a VW microbus and going south to North Carolina, and never quite happened, but that's a future dream there. Um, from the attendee side, I mean, obviously food is going to be a little expensive, especially if you're eating in the convention center every day, all day long. And I know how lame it might sound, but packing a lunch and bringing it with you can be really helpful, and it can take a lot of stress off of your back. And also, if you have dietary restrictions, or if you have a certain diet for religious reasons, it can be really important to plan ahead with regards to that. Um, as a business person, one of the hidden expenses that we always have to sort of wrestle with is dry cleaning and laundering services. So if you're going to be at a very long convention, try to figure out how you're going to do that without having to take advantage of the in-house dry cleaning services, which can be really expensive. Um, hey, but you don't have to pay for Wi-Fi usually, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, although actually, when I did DragCon, that was super expensive. And what we did is we got around it by having hotspots on our phones that we just took. We basically had our own little hotspots that we set up. And like if you're running, we had a photo booth happening at DragCon. So if you're running that type of equipment and you need like fast Wi-Fi for people to send themselves their pictures, that's a great way to do it affordably. Um, yeah, one of the like weird expenses that I found as a business owner for DragCon was like electricity. Like paying for electricity to the booth was super expensive and also really confusing because I'm not an electrician. And like I don't know how many watts I need or how many volts I need or like what my equipment is going to use up. So that was a little tricky, and it was it it wasn't cheap. So that type of stuff, if you're gonna have people set up or break down for you, I mean, they offer you people at the convention centers, and those are usually super, like it's union personnel and it's super expensive as well. Um, but as an attendee for like the scuba conventions that I've gone to, besides travel, I have always found that like it's good for me to also budget to buy things that I want. Because like especially at the scuba conventions, I'm going to look for new gear. And like I want the gear that I see, or like I have a specific list of things that I'm looking for and I want to like try on or see what has just come out. So allowing myself space in a budget for the convention to actually buy stuff. Even at DragCon as a presenter, as an exhibitor, I had a budget for things I was gonna buy because I knew like I'm coming there. This is something that I'm interested in, and there's the like I want things, and I don't want this to feel like, oh, I'm just here to learn or I'm just here to meet people. Like I want the entire experience, but I want to do it in a way that like I'm not, I've thought of everything. So like those that was super important for me to like leave myself a budget to like buy gear or buy stuff that I saw. And also to like to go out with people that I met afterwards. So, like, go out for drinks with people that you meet at the convention because it's a great networking opportunity, or to go out to dinner with people that you meet in the convention. Because again, it's like, first of all, like it's a great networking opportunity if you're business oriented. And if you're doing it on a personal level, like these are people that are interested in the same thing that you're interested in, and they're cool, and you want to hang out with them. You want to start like a friendship. I still speak to a lot of people from the conventions that so Gabby's asking, what did I buy? She wants to know. And just so you know, anyone who's listening, who's watching right now or watching on the replay, if you have any questions, feel free to post them, and both Josh and I will be here to answer. I don't know what he bought at the scuba convention, but I bought a new dive computer at this convention. It's actually funny because I saw it at DEMA in November, and technically I had placed my order to buy it then, but it wasn't available until this convention. So I ended up picking it up at this convention. It's a dive computer that's really cool. You can like set all the features from your phone, and it there's like a software built into it that stores your photos with like GPS coordinates of the places that you dove, and it's pretty awesome. And it was my first dive computer purchase. The last convention, I bought like some. I bought a BCD and a regulator, like basically an entire scuba setup. So now I have my whole scuba setup except for a tank, and I need new wetsuits. But like that's pretty much the things. And then I bought like at this convention, I bought like really small things like hooks and um, something called a safety sausage and like a reel. So like little things that I just needed that I didn't have. What about you, Josh?
Knickknacks. Lots of knickknacks. Like a collapsible snorkel that I could fit in my pocket so I can, not flop around so much on the surface of the water when there's so many waves. But I just want to mention one thing. Uh, I don't like to blow a lot of money at conventions in general, but um, they certainly offer you an incentive to, because they will give some of these vendors will slash 25, 35, 40% off of the price just from buying from the convention. These guys are trying to get an ROI. It's a great opportunity to negotiate and haggle with these people, which would otherwise be completely inaccessible or unwilling to haggle with you. So, well, for me, I like to go and I completely research everything until it's like beating a dead horse almost. And then I buy. So I'm usually pretty ill prepared at conventions to spend a lot of money. And scuba gear is also pretty expensive. But while I was there, I had great opportunity to decide which wetsuit I wanted. Found this really cool smart housing for your phone that you can put your phone in and basically connect it to the housing via Bluetooth, and you can go 100 feet under the water and use it. Great, there's little things like this I never would have known about. And one of the people who was there gave me her card, said, contact me, I'll give you all the information. Like, some of them weren't even trying to sell me stuff. They just wanted to, help someone in need. So a lot of opportunity at conventions. And one little trick that I learned over the years is you're going around and you're talking to people and you're figuring out cool stuff. You get people's business cards and write notes on the back of the business card to help you remember who you spoke to and what you guys spoke about. It's really helped a lot, especially when you walk out of one of these shows with a stack of 100 business cards and you're like, oh my God, who are these people, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna do you one better because I actually learned this with we have another friend, Nicole Zellick, and she's probably gonna watch this on the replay. So shout out to Nicole. She owns Super Dive Scuba and she's an amazing scuba instructor. And she taught me a really cool thing at a convention where every time she got a business card, she made the person hold the business card by their face, and then she took a picture of them holding their business card. So she could put like a face to the card, to the information, and like kept it all straight, which I thought was pretty ingenious. And it's a great idea to like, keep in contact with people and like know who you were talking to and like because I have the same problem of like leaving a convention and then having an envelope full of like business cards and contacts and not remembering who was who, what I spoke to them about, and I definitely should be writing things on the back of the cards.
So, but how do people remember you, right? If you take a picture of their card with next to their face, and I bring this up because you remember those old business cards from like real estate agents that would have their face on it, or like used car salesmen, like this kind of thing. Well, this card style's back, and a lot of people now have super modern cards with their face making a silly
I have
face, like that kind of thing, and
I
it's
have
super
my face.
memorable.
I have my face on my business cards. I have my
There you
face on my
go.
business cards. And also, what I've taken to doing is I have a contact, like a contact filled out on my phone. I basically saved myself as a business owner or as a person onto my phone as a contact. And now, when I meet people, I share my contact with them and it comes with a little picture of me. So like it automatically, I send it to them, it automatically stores me in their phone with every single detail that I want them to know about me, including like my social media handles, my email address, like the whole 9 yards. So that was something that I also learned from somebody else. Um, I don't remember who, but it was probably right before I went to South by Southwest in Austin, Texas. And that's what I did there of just I was sharing my contact info with people, just straight sending them a contact card.
It's pretty awesome, pretty smart. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't want to, I have to cut this a little bit short because it is the first Monday of the month. And so I'm have my every Monday at the first Monday of every month here in Rockaway Beach, New York, we have Ladies of Business Rockaway Beach meeting. And I have a bunch of ladies out there waiting, and we were networking and talking and supporting each other. So I can never miss my Money Mondays, but I also have to go back and be a part of my Ladies of Business meeting. Um, so it was amazing talking to you. And if people want to reach out to you, want to learn a little bit more about what you do or your hobbies, how do they get in contact with you?
Well, I have an Instagram, and I post lots of fish pictures, but you're welcome to check it out. It's at JO underscore GUAR, so Joe Guar with an underscore between the two. First name, last name, sort of some sort of amalgamation there. But it was very nice to speak with you, and thank you very much for inviting me. We had a blast at the trade show, and I am always impressed with all the cool tips you give. Uh, with the cell phone contact, for example. I feel like in the past I've tried to make personal business cards and give them to people. It didn't quite work. So I'm gonna try that next time.
Awesome. All right. So it was great having you. Have an awesome night. And if you're watching this and you're on the replay, feel free to post some questions and we'll be here to answer. And I will post Josh's Instagram on the comments as well. And yeah, if you have any questions or you want to hear about any topics on upcoming Money Mondays, let me know. Have a good night, everyone. Bye.
Thank you.